Mafella Battle. Kara Martin, welcome you guys. We're going to be talking about some struggles with entrepreneurship. And tonight, normally I try to be a little like I address some of the causes of your fears and then we try to give you some hope. But tonight, I'm going to do that, but I'm going to be really a straight shooter. Okay. I'm going to just be really honest. Our business life and world has changed in the last 10 years dramatically. And so if you're in the age range that I'm in, we no longer can just rely on the old mom and pop shops if you want to make real wealth or change your life in a real way that's sustainable and that's not tying you down to something. So I was thinking about it today after some conversations that I have with partners and customers and whatnot. But one of the things that I hear from new collaborators, new partners with me in this business, one of the first things a lot of people, especially people our age, I'm 60, so people over 40 will say is, I don't want to do social media. I want to do this business, but I'm going to do it my way. I'm not going to do social media. I'm not going to be online. I'm not going to do videos. I'm not going to post on my Facebook page. I'm not going to do all of that. Well, do you all remember how we shopped before COVID happened? How we went out and bought before COVID happened, and then everything shut down, and now everybody buys on Amazon. It's an online world we live in. So I'm just going to start with this. Like, if you're considering being an entrepreneur in this day and age and you don't want to have a social media presence, you might want to think about going back to your job and just doing that. And it's fine. We all have a place in life, right? But entrepreneurship is very different than it used to be. You have to have a presence online if you want a business that's more global, that's going to give you reach that you won't be able to achieve in your locality with the people you already know. So, I'm an introvert. I have ADHD and autism. I have a lot of acquaintances, but not really a big, tight group or circle of people that I feel comfortable talking to all of this stuff about. And I know that there are many others like that. One of the ladies who decided to collaborate with us lately has a huge circle at home. And this all comes about because she said, I don't want to do social media. Well, that's great, but you can only scale your business so far in today's world without being online. There's just no way that you're going to create the presence that you want, to create the wealth that you want, the freedom that you want, if you're not having something online. And it's easier than everybody makes it out to be. You guys, like, just behind the scenes, you know what my favorite search engine is? AI. I find that when I'm doing research, it shortcuts everything for me. I can use AI, I can go in, I can find all the data and the supporting papers and the scientific research and have it all lumped together for me so I can go through it instead of picking here and there. But our world is digital, it's online now. It's just the way the world is. And some of us are like, I wish it wasn't that way. Yeah, but it is this way. This is the world. And so if we're going to thrive in the world the way it is today, and you want to be an entrepreneur, you're almost need to have an online presence. Unless you're just dealing with the people around the corner and whoever wants to drive by your storefront, that's fine. But that's not going to create real wealth and real freedom for you. The way to do it now is online, meaning you have to create a social media presence. Now, I've had a Facebook page for a long time. I've been online for a long time. But I really didn't start building my business online tremendously until a few years ago, and it was scary. You guys, I feel just like everybody else. In the beginning, I was like, I don't want to be on live stream. I don't want to do videos. I don't want people seeing my face. I don't want people seeing my mess. I don't want to have to do this and be vulnerable and all of that all the time. I just don't want to. Like, there's weirdos out there. I don't want people. You know what? You got to let all that go. If you really want to be an entrepreneur who's successful, get comfortable with social media. Really, you have to. I found the products that I use that changed my life, that built the business that I'm doing online with someone who is doing social media. I built my business online doing social media. Now, there are some jobs, some industries that don't require it, but even at the top of most big companies, there's a tremendous social media influence online. In fact, one of my friends, that's a collaborator in this business, worked at a university, and that was her whole job, was to manage their presence online through social media. Oh, you find it ironic because your family doesn't do virtual visits with the new HIPAA laws. So that's interesting, right? There are some places where you just are not gonna have that presence. More and more doctors, though, are offering virtual visits. I remember my mom, not just my mom is a big proponent of doTERRA, and I love doTERRA, but I find it really difficult to sell and talk about because there's just so many things and you have to research everything for like, I love what I do because I address one simple issue that affects 93% of people, and I don't have to worry about that. But the point is, those that a number of doctors who use doTERRA products are now having online clinics where they can, do your visits virtually and prescribe virtually. So your doctor may not be doing it now, but I'm gonna tell you, I used to work in a doctor's office, and I'm gonna name because, he's I'm not gonna say what city he's in. Some people are gonna know who he is, and it doesn't really matter. But his name, we called him Kaz, Doctor Kaz, and he was a very vibrant, very, like, just he was a great doctor. But even then, even back then, when we were transitioning into EMR instead of paper charts, he was resistant. He did not want to do it. And yet, the whole world medical system now is EMR. They will come along, but some of the older doctors do have this problem with being online, with being on digital, with being on social media. And yet, marketing and advertising is more and more heading towards this space that we're in. And if we're not understanding that, adapting and moving it with it, we're narrowing down our chances for success. And I don't know about you, but when I talk about success and having freedom in time and in money, and freedom to be with my family and all of that stuff, if you tell me I have to be on digital marketing to do that, as opposed to going to a job every day that's going to really tell me what times I can work and not work, I'm going to be online. And most doctors, even the resistant ones at that older age, which Kaz is, I don't know, he's 10, 15 years older than me. So eventually, they did transition to EMR. I'm gonna tell you, it was a nightmare working through those charts that were paper charts and having to search through everything instead of being able to just go to an EMR, look up somebody, find all the images and all the prescriptions and all the stuff. You'd have to go find a chart on a wall, pull the chart down, flip through all the pages till you found what you wanted. It was painstaking. And it's interesting, I'm gonna say, it's interesting to note that the last report I had is that particular practice has had a little bit of decline. So there's some struggles with that, right? But if you're gonna be in this world today, we have to get comfortable with AI, with social media, with all of that. A lot of people will say, like, on my Facebook page, I try not to talk about the products and all that too much on my Facebook page because I have family and friends there and I want them to still love and trust me. I don't want them to go to my page and be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna go to her page anymore because all she does is talk about that product, and I don't know what happened to the Misha that I knew and loved. She's gone." That's not what we're trying to do. So this is live on my personal page right now on Facebook, but I will go remove it in a few hours or tomorrow because I just don't want to leave it there cluttering up my personal page. But we have to get comfortable with letting people know us, see us, and find us. And social media is probably that tool that's really going to elevate, expand, and get you leverage with your entrepreneurship, your business if you're doing it online. So there's no way, and I'm saying online because that's how I chose to do it, but I know there's people who try to do, the protocol that I talk about. They try to go to flea markets. You guys, I did all the stuff too. I did health fairs. I've traveled across the nation, talking about the products and showing it, and it just doesn't work as well. It's a lot of cost, it's a lot of expense, and it's much easier for me to be able to reach people right here from my home. but it requires that digital presence. Now, I know there's a number of people who have used the products that I talk about, and they found a lot of success in their health. And I would have never, ever, ever met or served those people if I didn't get vulnerable and step into this online space. So, at the bottom line of this, because this is a 10-minute talk, so we're at 10 minutes, and so I'm going to wrap it up because I don't want to take up all your night. But if you expect to be an entrepreneur, if you are ever presented with some of these opportunities and you then want to turn around and say, but I don't want to be online, save yourself the time and just don't have that conversation. Go back to a job and live that way. And it's fine. Like I said, it's fine. We have to have people doing every source of this. But if you want to find that financial freedom, that time freedom, get comfortable being online. Do it or don't. It's up to you. It's your choice. Okay. You guys, I don't know. I didn't stop to add to see other questions. Crafty, I saw you. Um, So, you guys, every night about 11 p.m., I'm going to hop on. I'm going to talk about some of the things I learned from the people I collaborate with and partner with. I'm going to talk about a lot of the stuff that I've struggled through and the successes I've found. Because if you're on the fence about doing this, leaving a job or adding to your job by having some other type of presence in the world, there's things that you're going to go through and there's ways to overcome them and you're not alone. And just like last night I talked about the pain and the fear of being too old to start over. You guys, there's so much that's possible. But for those of us that are older, the last thing I want to say, because I will talk forever, is this: get comfortable with the way the world is today. I know what the world was like when I was 10. I know what the world was like when I was 20 or 30 or 40, but that's not the world we're living in today. And at that age, at that time, I would have never imagined being on social media every day. And yet, being on social media every day is what's afforded me to be there and be the grandmother for my disabled grandson that he needs. And I truly believe people come into our life, either our family or in the rest of our life, for a reason. I did a post on that today. And I really feel like my grandson came to this family because he was going to get love and care. His mom and dad do a great job. I'm doing the best I can. But if I was still working in medical offices, which required me to work 2 jobs a day because it wasn't paying me enough to even pay a modest apartment, and I bought the cheapest car ever, you guys, life changes if you can embrace the way life is today. So stop saying that I won't, I can't, I don't, no. Then you don't have an entrepreneurial mind of an entrepreneurial mindset. You have to be open to growth, and that means getting comfortable with social media. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Not sure what I'm going to talk about. If you have a question about what my journey's been like, what I do, how I found any kind of success from living on a twin bed in a hallway at 57 to having an extremely comfortable life, I'm here to answer all those questions and help you out because, whether you do what I do or not, there's certain things that we all are going to go through, struggle with, and need to overcome. And that's what these talks are about. So have a great night. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining in.